Module 3 is about two concepts. The first part is about electrostatic field, second part is about magnetostatic field. The first part is related to Poisson's and Laplace equation. How the Poisson's and Laplace equations are useful for the electric field problems. Generally, these Poisson's and Laplace equations are used for solving the electric boundary conditions problem. So using this Poisson's and Laplace equation, the potential V is determined at any point, and hence the electric field intensity E bar and other parameters such as, that is quantities such as charge density is nothing but electric flux density, then total charge Q, potential difference between the two conductors, and the capacitance between the conductors can be easily determined. This can be analyzed by taking one general example. The general example is like cricket ground. In a cricket ground there will be two circles. One is called as the inner circle and another one is called as a outer circle. The outer circle here we are calling as a boundary, right? If the ball touches the boundary line anywhere, the runs are same. If the ball passes over the boundary line anywhere on this boundary line, the runs are also same. That means in a cricket ground, we are considering one is called as the inner circle, another one is called as a boundary line. Similarly, this can be compared with the electric field problem also. That means consider this is called as a inner conductor. On this there will be a charge present, and consider this is called as a outer conductor. Outer conductor is nothing but a boundary line. The inner conductor is nothing but a inner circle. Now, because of the charge present on this, there will be a electric field anywhere inside this boundary line, that is called as a outer conductor. So at this point, assume the potential is V, that we need to determine using this Laplace equation. Once you know the V, then you can determine the electric potential. The electric potential E bar is equal to minus del V. Once you know E bar, then you can determine D bar. The relation between D bar and E bar is equal to epsilon E. Once you know D bar is equal to electric flux density, that is nothing but surface charge density, because both the units are same. So D bar is equal to rho s. Actually rho s is equal to magnitude of the D bar. Then once you know the rho s, then we can determine the charge Q. Charge Q is equal to surface integration of rho s ds, or otherwise Q is equal to rho s into surface area. Then once you know the Q, then we can determine the capacitance. Capacitance is equal to Q by V, where V is the potential difference between these two conductors. So this is the concept, that what we are going to see in the first part of module 3. Just once again you see here, in a cricket ground there will be inner circle as well as the boundary line. Inner circle here we are considering as a, with respect to electric field problems, it is called as inner conductor, and the boundary line is called as a outer conductor. That means on the boundary line anywhere, everywhere, the electric field value is same. That is electric potential value is also same. Like how the cricket, in a cricket, if the ball touches anywhere on the boundary line, the runs are same only. So then once you know the V value anywhere within this inner and outer conductor, then you can determine the E bar, then you can determine the D bar. D bar is equal to surface charge density. From surface charge density you can determine the Q. Charge Q is equal to surface integration of rho s ds, or otherwise Q is equal to rho s into surface area of the object. Then once you know this charge Q, then you can determine the capacitance between these two, inner conductor and outer conductor. What is the capacitance existing between these two, Now let's see how the Poisson's and Laplace equation is derived. What are the equations related to Poisson's equation and Laplace equation? To derive these Poisson's and Laplace equations, first we need to consider the point form of Gauss law. The point form of Gauss law is del dot D bar is equal to rho v, and we know d bar is equal to what? Epsilon e bar. Substitute in this, then you will get that del dot e bar is equal to rho v epsilon. But using the gradient relationship, what is the gradient relationship? E bar is equal to minus del v. Substitute this equation in equation 3, then you will get del dot of minus del v is equal to rho v epsilon, del square v is equal to minus rho v epsilon. So del square v is equal to minus rho v epsilon is called as a Poisson's equation. That means when charge is present within the considered region, then we can apply the Poisson's equation. Now for a certain region, right, there won't be any charge at all. That is called as a free of charge region. For the free of charge region, volume charge density rho v is equal to what? 0. If you substitute rho v is equal to 0 here, then del square v is equal to what? 0. Del square v is equal to 0. Then this is called as a Laplace equation. That means for charge free region, we can apply the Laplace equation for solving the electric boundary conditions problem. Now let's see the Laplace equation in different coordinate system. The Laplace equation in the different coordinate system is, Laplace equation means del square v must be equal to 0. At the end, we need to write equal to 0, then only that is called as a Laplace equation. Now let's see the Laplace equation for various coordinate system. First one is Cartesian, next is cylindrical, next is spherical. So in Cartesian coordinate system, del square v is equal to dou square by dou x square plus dou square by dou y square plus dou square v by dou z square must be equal to what? 0. Similarly for other two coordinate systems also. The other two coordinate systems are, one is cylindrical, another one is the spherical coordinate system. At the end it must be equal to 0, then only that is called as a Laplace equation. At the end if it is equal to minus rho by epsilon, then that is called as a Poisson's equation. Next we will see examples based on the Laplace equation. Now one example related to Laplace equation is, so verify the potential field is given below, satisfy the Laplace equation. V is equal to x square minus 3y square plus z square. To satisfy the Laplace equation, first we need to determine del square v. If del square v value is equal to 0, then we can say the given field satisfy the Laplace equation. So here the expression is having x, y, z, that means Cartesian coordinate system. In Cartesian coordinate system, what is the del square v formula? Dou square v by dou x square plus dou square v by dou y square plus dou square v by dou z square. First calculate this one. If it is equal to 0, then that satisfies the Laplace equation. If it is not equal to 0, then does not satisfy the Laplace equation. So if you simplify this one, you are getting 0. That means del square v is equal to 0 means, then that is called as a Laplace equation. If del square v is not equal to 0 means there will be some value of charge present. So therefore that satisfies the what condition is? Poisson's condition, Poisson's equation. Next, one more problem based on the same, that is Laplace equation is, if a potential V is equal to V is equal to x square yz plus a y cube z. Find the value of a so that V satisfies the Laplace equation. And with the value of a, that is whatever we determined a here in this first one, determine the electric field intensity. So the relation between electric field intensity and the V is E bar is equal to minus del V. So whatever the value you get here a, substitute in this, then if using the relation E is equal to minus del V, you can determine the solution. Now let's see here the Laplace equation in Cartesian coordinate system. Why it is Cartesian means the given field is having, right, x, y, z. So now let's see here. The first thing is, so write the del square V is equal to 0, then del square V expand. Del square V in Cartesian coordinate system is dou square V by dou y square plus x square, y square as well as z square. And substitute V in these three terms, then finally you will get this a value is equal to minus 1 by 3. Substitute this a is equal to 1 minus a is equal to minus 1 by 3 in the V expression. The V expression is this, then you will get the complete expression for V. Using this V, then we can determine the E bar. E bar is equal to minus del V. Once again del V formula in which coordinate system? Cartesian coordinate system. So minus of, write down the complete formula. then substitute the V value in all the three unit vectors, then you will get the E value. Now here the question is at point 2 comma 1 comma minus 1, what is the value of E bar? Mean substitute x is equal to 2, y is equal to 1 and z is equal to minus 1, then finally you will get this answer, final answer. This is the extension of the Poisson Laplace equation. Next we will see the problem based on the Poisson's equation, right? Now let's see here. Given the volume charge density rho v is equal to minus 2 into 10 power 7 epsilon naught square root x coulomb per meter cube in free space. Let v is equal to 0 at x is equal to 0 and v is equal to 2 volts at x is equal to 0.5 mm. Find v at x is equal to 1 mm. We need to determine the value of v at x is equal to 1 mm. How to solve this one? Here it is. In this problem, the charge density is given, rho v is given. Once rho v is given, then we need to apply the Poisson's equation. What is the Poisson's equation formula? Del square v is equal to minus rho v by epsilon, right? So write down here first del square v is equal to minus rho v by epsilon. But what is del square v? Del square v in which coordinate system? As per the given problem in rectangular coordinate system. What is the rectangular coordinate system formula? Here is dou square v by dou x square plus dou square v by dou y square plus dou square v by dou z square. Now if you look at the problem here, so the potential is varying with respect to only one variable only. The variable is what? X only. That means the remaining y and z are constant, that y and z are neglected. So therefore here v is the function of what? X only, and it is not the function of y and z. So therefore y term and z terms are neglected in this formula. So therefore del square v is equal to only what? Dou square v by dou x square. Dou square v by dou x square value must be equal to minus rho v by epsilon, that whatever you have calculated here, we just write down here. Now we need to take the integration on both sides of this equation. That is, first time if you take the integration on both sides, then here it is dou v by dou x. This side integration is x power 1 by 2 means x power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2 plus 1 constant. The constant is c1. Next again take one more time integration. Then if you take the integration on both sides, then the integration of dou by dou x is v only, and integration of this one is once again, right, we need to expand this one plus c1 of x plus one more constant, that is c2. That c1 and c2 is determined using this boundary conditions values. What is the boundary conditions value? V is equal to 0 at x is equal to 0, v is equal to 2 volts at x is equal to 1.5. You will get two equations from these two conditions. Solve the two equations, you will get the two constants. So here the potential equation is v is equal to this value plus C1x plus C2. Now we need to determine C1x and C1 value as well as. So at x is equal to 0, v is equal to what? 0. Substitute in that equation, that is a potential equation, then you will get C2 is equal to 0. We got one constant value. Another using another condition, x is equal to 2.5 mm, v is equal to how much? 2 volts. Substitute in that same equation, v is equal to 2 volts, wherever x is there, that is 2.5 m. Again C2 already you got it right, substitute here. Finally we will get the C1 value. C1 value and C2 value you got it. Substitute C1, C2 in the potential equation, v is equal to this same, whatever the expression you got it, that you substitute here. Now the final solution is at x is equal to 1 mm, what is the value of the potential? So v is equal to, right, this value in plus this value. Substitute x is equal to 1 mm only. Finally we will get the potential v is equal to 0.30 to 9 volts. This is the applications of Poisson's equation. Next we will see procedure to solve the Laplace and Poisson's equation, and from that we can determine the capacitance also, that is capacitance calculations. So the procedure to solve the Poisson's and Laplace equation related to electrostatic field problem is, the first one is as per the given problem. So write the first what? Laplace equation and the Poisson's equation depending on the charge given in the problem. If there is no charge given means, that is volume charge density is not given means Laplace equation. If volume charge density is given means Poisson's equation and solve using the method of integration and the constants of integration as per the requirement. Next one is determine the integration constants, that is C1 and C2, that what you have seen in the previous problem by using the given boundary conditions for the region. Next, write the complete potential equation by substituting the integration constants, that what you have seen in the previous problem. Then find E bar using this relationship, E bar is equal to minus del V. Then find D bar is equal to epsilon E bar. And at the surface, actually the surface charge density rho s is equal to flux density. Flux density is always perpendicular to the line, so rho s is equal to dn bar. N stands for normal, so therefore rho s is equal to magnitude of d bar only. Then we can determine the charge q. Charge q is equal to surface charge density of rho s into ds, or otherwise one more formula is q is equal to rho s into surface area. Once you know charge q, then you can determine the capacitance C is equal to q by V. So now let's see here how to determine the capacitance for the given problem. So the problem is solve the Laplace equation for the potential field in the homogeneous region between the two concentric conductor spheres with radius A and B. A is called as a inner radius and B is called as a outer radius, such that B is greater than A, B is called as a outer radius. If the potential V is equal to 0 at R is equal to B, that means at the boundary, that is outer conductor, the potential value is equal to 0. V is equal to V0 at R is equal to A. For the inner conductor, the potential value is given, that is value is equal to V0. And also find the capacitance between the two concentric spheres. The capacitance existing between these two concentric spheres, that we need to determine. So they are mentioned very clearly in the problem. It is a concentric sphere, that means spherical coordinate system we need to apply. So what are the main variables in this? One is the potential, another one is what? A radius. That means the given problem is mainly varying with respect to the radius only. When the radius is varying, the potential value is also varying. So it is a function of radius r only, and it is not the function of any other parameters or variables. So now let's see here the Laplace equation in which coordinate system? In which coordinate system is spherical coordinate system. Why it is a spherical coordinate system is they are mentioned very clearly concentric spheres. So write down the complete spherical coordinate system formula, that is del square V is equal to formula. We need to solve this one is using what method? Laplace equation they are mentioned. Even they are not mentioned also. If the rho V is not given in the problem, then blindly we can apply the Poisson's equation for solving this one. The Laplace equation in spherical coordinate system is given by del square V is equal to 0. Del square V we need to expand. So 1 by r square dou by dou r of r square into dou by dou r plus 1 by r square sin theta dou by dou theta of sin theta dou by dou theta plus 1 by r square sin square theta dou square v by dou phi square is equal to 0. So as per the problem, the potential is varying with respect to what? R only. So that means R term only will be considered. The remaining will be 0 only. That means potential V is a function of R only. The potential V is not the function of theta term as well as the phi term. That is second term and third term is neglected. Only first term is equal to what? 0. So you can see here also, here the V is the function of R only and not the function of theta and phi. So that means theta term and phi terms are neglected. So finally the first term is equal to 0. So once again take the different integration on both sides. Then first time integration means r square dou by dou r is equal to 1 constant. Second time integration is because we need to bring this r square this side, and then again take the integration. So V is equal to minus C1 by R plus C2. We need to determine this C1 and C2. How to determine means using these boundary conditions. At R is equal to B, V is equal to 0. At R is equal to A, V is equal to V0. You will get the two constants. C2 is equal to C1 by B as well as C2 also. Substitute C1 and C2 in that equation, then finally you will get this expression v is equal to minus v naught divided by r of 1 by b minus 1 by a plus v naught divided by b into 1 by a 1 by b minus 1 by a. So determine the C1 and C2, substitute in the voltage potential equation that v is equal to minus C1 is this and C2 is this, then you will get the complete expression for the potential. After getting the potential expression, next we need to determine what E bar. E bar is equal to what? Minus del V. And once again here, no need to write the complete del V formula. Why means here V is the component of what? RO only. The remaining theta and phi term is not required in this del V expression. Even if you write also later, we need to substitute the two terms are equal to 0. It is a time waste, directly you can write down. So del V is equal to, the V is the function of R only. So that means dou by dou R into ER bar. So substitute V from this, then you will get the E bar is equal to minus V naught divided by R square into 1 by B minus 1 by A. Next we can determine D bar is equal to minus epsilon E bar. So epsilon just is the relative permittivity, and E bar is equal to this value, the same thing you substitute here, then you got the D bar. Next we need to determine the rho s. Rho s is equal to magnitude of D bar, means rho s unit is coulomb per meter square, D bar unit is also coulomb per meter square. So rho s is equal to D bar, magnitude of D bar only. That means magnitude of D bar means only the magnitude is considered, unit vectors are neglected. Then the Q formula is charge Q is equal to rho s into surface area. So surface area of spherical shell is 4 pi r square. So depending on the formula we need to use, sometimes Q is equal to surface integration of rho s into ds, or otherwise Q is equal to rho s into surface area. So rho s is equal to the same thing here, area is 4 pi r square, then you will get the charge Q. Then capacitance is Q by V, where V is equal to, how to analyze this V means the potential difference between the two conductors. The potential difference between the two conductors means this is inner conductor and outer conductor. Inner conductor potential value is how much? V naught. Outer conductor potential value is how much? 0. The potential difference between these two, V naught minus 0 is equal to V naught. That means V is equal to V naught only. So therefore capacitance is equal to Q as it is divided by V naught. So this gives the capacitance between the two conductors. The capacitance existing between these two, inner conductor and the outer conductor, is equal to this value. This is called as a application of Laplace equation related to electrostatic field problem. Similarly, in the same way, we can determine one more problem. Now let's see, one more problem is use Laplace equation to find the capacitance per unit length in this case. That means per length, per meter or per length, what should be the value of capacitance of a coaxial cable. Cable means it is a circular shape. Okay, we need to use cylindrical coordinate system for solving this one. Of inner radius A and outer radius is B. Assume V is equal to V naught at R is equal to A, V is equal to 0 at R is equal to B. So it is a cable, right? So infinity length cable is there. Cable is having, one is interconductor, another one is the per unit length. What should be the capacitance between the two, that is inner conductor as well as the outer conductor. So outer conductor potential is 0 means it is nothing but connected to ground. Having some potential means it is not connected to the ground. Okay. Now let's see here how to solve this one here. So the cable means it is a cylindrical shape. So in cylindrical coordinate system we need to write the complete del square V formula. Del square V is equal to 1 by R dou by dou R of R into dou by dou R plus 1 by R square dou square V by dou y square plus dou square V by dou z square is equal to 0. If you look at the problem, the V is mainly varying with respect to what? R only. The V is not varying with respect to other variables. What are the other variables in cylindrical coordinate system? Phi as well as z. That means phi term as well as z term are neglected. So that means here is the V is the function of R only and not the function of phi and z. That means second term as well as third term is neglected. Only first term is equal to 0. That means 1 by R dou by dou R of R into dou by dou R is equal to 0. Simplify this one, again take the integration, then finally we will get dou v by dou r is equal to C1 by R. Again, we need to take the integration for this. So if we take the integration for this, v is equal to ln of r C1 plus C2. Now we need to determine the C1 and C2. How to determine the C1, C2 means using the boundary conditions as per the problem. At r is equal to b, v is equal to what? 0. Then substitute in this, you will get one mathematical equation. Similarly, at r is equal to a, v is equal to v naught. Substitute in the same equation 1, you will get one more mathematical equation. Then solve these two equations, you will get the C1 as well as C2. So C1 and C2 are substituted in the first equation. Then finally v is equal to ln of r v naught divided by ln of a by b minus ln of b v naught divided by ln of a by b. So from this, now we are going to determine the E bar. E bar is equal to minus del V. Once again, del V, no need to write the complete formula. AR plus AFI plus AZ. Why means the here in this case V is the function of what? R only. The remaining two terms no need to write. Even if you write also, we need to put 0 at the last. So therefore only dou by dou R, AR bar only. Just write down dou by dou R of V. V is this one, substitute here, and finally we will get E bar is equal to this mathematical equation. And we know the relation between D bar and epsilon. E bar is equal to, so D bar and D bar is equal to epsilon E bar. So that E bar you substitute here. Then once again the rho S is surface charge density is magnitude of D bar. Then you will get the surface charge density. Next, charge Q is equal to rho S into surface area of inner cylinder. So rho S is equal to surface area of inner cylinder is 2 pi into 2 pi r into L, where L is the length of the cylinder. So that is equal to, right, rho S, whatever you got the previous expression here, 2 pi r into L. R will get cancelled. Finally, the charge Q is equal to this much. Capacitance per unit length means L, bring this side, Q by L. RL is equal to 1 meter. However you want, we can write. So finally C is equal to Q by V. So Q is equal to this, in this L is equal to 1. Otherwise Q by L, that is called per unit length. And V, once again, the potential difference between the inner conductor and outer conductor. The potential difference between the inner conductor and outer conductor is, so V naught minus 0, that is equal to V naught. V is equal to V naught, Q is equal to this. Finally, we get the capacitance per unit length is equal to 2 pi epsilon ln of B by A. So like this, we can see one more general example, right, that not including the capacitance. So here, determine the expression for E bar in cylindrical coordinates. They are mentioned very clearly in cylindrical coordinates between the two planes intersected along the insulated along Z axis, assuming a potential of 100 volts for phi is equal to alpha and 0 reference at phi is equal to 0 degrees. That means two plates are there. So between these two plates, initially the first plate is at reference position, phi is equal to 0. Second plate is at phi is equal to alpha. It is alpha. So at that the potential value is 100 volts. Right? Potential value is 100 volts. Potential value for this plate. Potential value for this plate is 0. Okay. This is plate 1 and this is plate 2. Plate 1 is at reference line. Plate 2 is at phi is equal to alpha. So in this case, right, they have mentioned cylindrical coordinates. You write down the cylindrical coordinate formula, del square V is equal to 0. Now, which terms are neglected? That negligence is based on the given data. What is the given data? What is the potential is varying with respect to what? Phi only. That means phi term only is considered. The remaining terms are neglected. So here V is the function of what? Phi only, and not the function of what and what? R and Z. So R term as well as Z term is neglected. Then rewrite the formula, then take the integration, double integration, then you will get the expression for V. So again, if you take the double integration, finally you will get V is equal to C1 phi plus C2. We need to determine C1 and C2. How to determine C1, C2 means using the boundary values as per the problem. Phi is equal to 0 degrees, V is equal to 0, phi is equal to alpha, V is equal to 100 volts. Then you will get the two constants C1 and C2. Substitute C1 and C2 in this V expression. You will get the V is equal to 100 divided by alpha into phi. Now we need to determine the potential E bar. E bar is electric field intensity E bar. Electric field E bar is equal to minus del V. Where V is the function of what? Phi only. That means actually this is the del V formula. In this, right, we need to write only that is phi term only. The remaining AR and AZ is not required. Any of both are 0 only. V is not the function of phi and Z, R and Z only. So therefore middle term is considered, that is E bar is equal to minus of 1 by R dou by dou phi A phi bar only. Substitute the V here, finally we will get the expression for V. So this is the problem related to the previous one. Okay, next one general example, right? We'll see one more. Determine whether the given field satisfy the Laplace equation or not. V is equal to what? R cos phi plus Z. So R cos phi plus Z means the points are R phi Z only. That is variables are R phi Z only. That means it is cylindrical coordinate. In cylindrical coordinate system, what is the del square V formula? Is this. Calculate the del square V. If it is equal to 0, then we can say the given field satisfies the Laplace equation. Otherwise, it does not satisfy the Laplace equation. So del square V is this. Calculate one by term. Directly don't do it because it is will be very lengthy. Calculate term by term and substitute in this equation. First dou by dou R and later 1 by R of this term, right? Next second term is dou by dou phi, again 1 by R square into dou square E by dou phi square. Third term is dou square V by dou Z square. Substitute in the formula. Finally, we will get del square V is equal to 0. That means del square V is equal to 0. That is called as a Laplace equation. As per the Laplace, as per the question, the given field satisfies the Laplace equation. Okay. So for this problem, the potential is given as a V is equal to R cos phi plus Z. We will see one more example. Consider the concentric spherical shells in free space in which V is equal to 0 at R is equal to 10 centimeter and V is equal to 10 volts at R is equal to 20 centimeters. Find the E bar and D bar. So here we need to solve using the Laplace equation. The potential is varying mainly with respect to R only. The radius is given in terms of centimeter, that should be converted into SI units, that is meters, right? Now let's see here. So here the problem is given in spherical coordinates. So write down the complete spherical coordinate formula at the last equal to 0, that is called as a Laplace equation. So in this case, V is the function of what? R only and not the function of theta and phi, means potential is varying with respect to V value only. So therefore, and the V is not depends on theta term and the phi term. So second term and third term are neglected. Then write down del square V is equal to this value and take the double integration. Finally, we will get the V expression. V is equal to minus A by R plus B. Now we need to solve the two constants A value and B value using this boundary condition. At V is equal to 0, R is equal to 10 centimeter, that is 0.1 meter. V is equal to 10 volts at R is equal to 20 centimeter, that is 0.2 meter. Substitute both the values, right, in this equation. Finally, we will get the constant A and constant B. Constant A is equal to 2 and constant B is equal to 20. So finally, we will get V is equal to minus 2 by R plus 20. Next, we need to determine the E bar. E bar is equal to minus del V. E bar is equal to, we need to write down the complete expression. And if you write the complete expression also, phi term and theta term will be neglected because V is the function of only AR bar only. Okay. So finally, E bar is equal to this. Then next we need to determine the D bar. D bar is equal to epsilon naught E bar. Otherwise you can write epsilon E bar, epsilon naught into E bar. Epsilon naught is this value and E bar is equal to this. Finally we will get the D bar, where D bar is equal to this value. Okay. So this is the problem based on the spherical shell, just calculation of E bar and D bar only. Next we are going to say one more theory question, that is uniqueness theorem. Uniqueness theorem is, if the solution of the Laplace equation satisfies the boundary condition, then that solution is unique by whatever the method it is obtained. So how this can be analyzed is, first we consider the boundary. On the boundary, consider this is 1 point, 0.1, consider this is 0.2. On the boundary anywhere, everywhere, right, the value is same. Like in a cricket, if the ball touches the boundary line, anywhere, everywhere, the runs are same only. Similarly, the potential at this point, say V1, the potential at this point, point 2 is V2. That means these two values, right, V1 and V2 must be equal to same, that is V1 is equal to V2. That means if the solution of the Laplace equation satisfies the boundary condition, that is the solution whatever you obtained for V1 and V2 satisfied, right, then that solution is called as a unique by whatever the method you apply to get this solution, that is a boundary condition solution. Now let's see here the explanation. We need to assume the Laplace equation having two solutions. The two solutions say it is what and what, V1 and V2. The solutions must satisfy the what equation? Laplace equation. Laplace equation formula is del square V is equal to 0. For the first one, del square V1 is equal to 0, and for the second one, del square V2 is equal to 0. At the boundary, right, the values must be is equal to what? Same only. V1 is equal to V2. And take the difference. Difference is equal to Vd is equal to what? V2 minus V1. That must be equal to 0 only. So once again apply the Laplace equation for this Vd value. Del square Vd is equal to del square of V2 minus V1. Expand this one. Del square V2 minus del square V1 equal to 0. We need to prove this solution is same by another method. Another method means we can choose any method. One of the method is called what? Divergence theorem method. Using the divergence theorem, the divergence theorem equation is surface integration is equal to volume integration. Surface integration of d bar dot ds is equal to volume integration of del dot d bar into dv. But here instead of d bar we have written that a bar, right? Surface integration of a bar dot ds is equal to volume integration of del dot a bar into dv. What is we need to consider what is a bar? A bar is equal to Vd into del Vd. Vd is equal to the difference between these two. Del Vd means whenever there is a change in the small change in the value, that is called as a del Vd. So that is because a is the vector to consider as a vector, right? Vd is the real value, so that is multiplied with the gradient value. What is the gradient value? Del Vd. Then it will become a vector. A bar is equal to Vd into del Vd. Now a bar is straightforward, you can substitute here, but when it comes to here we need to calculate del dot a bar. What is del dot a bar? Here it is, right? So del dot of a bar is Vd into del Vd. We need to expand this one using the vector algebra formula. So Vd into del dot del Vd plus del Vd dot del Vd. Then substitute in the formula, finally we will get Vd del square Vd plus del Vd into del Vd. So but del square Vd value must be equal to what? As per that previous equation, 0 only. Substitute in this 0, finally del dot a bar is equal to del Vd into del Vd. So now using the same equation, that is equation 5, then surface integration of a bar dot ds. A bar is equal to what? Vd del Vd. And the volume integration of del dot a bar is equal to what? This one, that whatever the expression you got it, del Vd into del Vd. But Vd is equal to 0 on the boundary. That is the difference between the any two solutions must be equal to what? Same. Because why it is same is V1 is equal to V2. When both values are same, the difference between these two is equal to 0 only. Vd is equal to 0. The difference between the two potential is 0 on the boundary. Hence this side is 0. Because Vd is 0 means if you substitute 0 here, this value equal to 0. If this is 0, then finally volume integration of del Vd dv is equal to 0. It is magnitude of del Vd square dv is equal to 0. That means this integration can be made equal 0 under two conditions. What are the two conditions? One is del square Vd is equal to 0. Another one is Vd is equal to this Vd is equal to V2 minus V1. Then that value is directly equal to 0 only. That value is equal to 0. V2 is equal to V1. This proves that both the solutions are equal and cannot be different. So as per the statement of uniqueness theorem, whatever the solution you obtain by any method, the same solution is same as per the Laplace equation. That is called as uniqueness. Uniqueness means the values must be same whatever the method you apply for the boundary conditions problem. So this is about completely module 3. First part of module 3. The two theory questions, derivation of Poisson's and Laplace equation and uniqueness theorem. The rest of the things are the problems only.